Oh, it's a beautiful day today. It's supposed to be 70. And to me, the greatest thing about Washington is being able to go out every morning and run around these monuments thinking about all the great people who did stuff in this country. And when I first came here 30, 40 years ago, man, I used to just love getting in. That's when I was running at the time. I just stopped running really about a year or two ago. And it was so inspiring. And I would think, oh, gosh, I mean, I just wanted to start a business. I didn't care what kind of business. I would sell hot dogs on the mall. Every job I had, I just felt like jail after 6 months. You know, you get all excited about the job. Oh my God. It just wasn't for me. And I knew I had to do something myself. I was a terrible employee. And now I got a terrible boss. Me. He's a slave driver, man. I don't know. But I'm certainly a heck of a lot happier. But, you know, but what I want to talk about is at the time, I had no money, you know. And so, you know, and all the people talk about, oh, you need all this money to do things and things like that. And, you know, and I started 2 businesses and they failed. But they all failed by not investing a nickel. I had no customers. I had no contacts. I didn't know people, you know. I was just a kid out of the Navy trying to get a job. I was going to work for the government, you know. It is really why I came to town. And then I got on the GI Bill here and got a master's degree in business management information systems. And I started a software company even with some other guys. And that went belly up. Man, I must have been the only person in the 70s, 1970s, not 1870s, I look that old, I know, you know, that failed in computers. I had another information business we did for Vietnam vets, because we were all Vietnam vets at grad school, and helping people get information, you know, before they came back to the States, because the world changed in the beginning of the 70s, man. It was a whole different life in 3 years. Particularly at that age, you know, you're planning for something, you come back and it's something different. And people thought you were an idiot going to war. But, you know, my point is, then after the 2 failing businesses, I really tried to start them like everybody told me to, and get the LLCs, get all this kind of stuff I was supposed to get, and all that stuff, and, you know, the power furniture, and, you know, and everything that, you know, you go to these seminars and everything that tell you need to be a success. Well, I failed twice, you know. And I did it like all they were telling me to do, and I still failed. But the point to me was I didn't have any fun. So I thought if I failed, you know, that I'd be walking down the street and everybody would be pointing at Lesko. Oh, there's got Lesko guy who failed at everything, and I'd have a big F on my forehead and everything. And it was so liberating, because I found out after I failed, nobody cared. Nobody cared if I failed or anything. We're all too selfish and involved in our own life to worry about other people and what they do. You know? So, you know, that was just liberating. That's why I think failure is, at least in my life, was the most important thing to happen, because I'd have a mediocre software company or something now, instead of finding out what I really should be doing. And so that's why the 3rd business, when I started, I said, well, this time I'm going to have fun. So even if I fail again, I'll be having fun. And I don't have to wait 10 years to be a millionaire, or whatever the hell I had in my stupid brain at the time. No, from day one, I'm having fun because I love doing it, you know. And that changed my life forever, you know. And that's why I felt, you know, failure is the most important thing. But also what I keep learning over and over again, that you don't need money to start a business, you know. People will convince you that, and you'd like to be convinced it's that, because if you don't have any money, you could blame it on other people. Or you got a good excuse why you didn't success, because you don't have money. But I really don't need it. You have to be clever enough to get around it. Now I think it's easier than ever to start businesses, you know, without any money. And that's another thing about, what are you going to do after COVID? Maybe you lost your job, maybe this or whatever. You got a long life to live. If you make it through without getting COVID, then no matter what age, even at 40, 50, 60, you got 20, 30, 40, 50 years maybe, So what are you going to do with that? And I think you got to find something. I mean, you got to pay the bills. That's one thing. So maybe you find something that, either through the gig economy or something that keeps you afloat. And now start thinking about what you're going to do, how you're going to contribute, and then also to be smart enough to figure out to get money out of what you really want to do in life. I mean, I just can't wait to get up in the morning. I'm so spoiled to do this, and people are nice enough to, to want to buy the stuff, And so we live in a capitalist society, so people are used to paying for things. So it's not you have to start a nonprofit to do everything. I don't think that's true. And you provide a service somehow, or even with your nonprofit. I mean, certainly there's some people that can't afford, and like a lot of people can't afford my $20 or whatever, and that's why I give it for free here on YouTube, or my free website, which is called Let's Go Training. You could download almost all the stuff I talk about there. And it's important that you try. It's important that you fail. It's important that you don't try to hang up on money to do anything, because if you don't have money, then it's hard to get. And it's important not to be living off grants. I mean, I'm telling you all about these government grants, and yeah, they're real. I just got one too. But you don't want to build a career unless you're a career somehow of, it's a special something you're doing that could live on government grants for everything. But most of us can't. It's sort of a one-time thing, particularly all the COVID stuff. It's something to get you back on your feet again. So this is going to end eventually. So what are you going to start doing, to get back, to create your own money instead of, government money and other nonprofits? I mean, that's good for hard times and special needs, and I mean, it's not all bad, of course. Nothing is, but I think you want to learn how to generate your own income at any age. I mean, whether you're 65, 85, or whatever. I'm 77, going to be 78 soon. And I plan to do this for at least 15 more years. I mean, 90, 95 doesn't look hard at all now from this standpoint. Boy, it did like hell when I was 40, but now it seems around the corner. And I can still contribute. Hey! Thank you. You bet. Yeah, man.
Yes. I love you. You're awesome.
Say hello to the camera. Where are you?
What's up, everyone?
See, this dressing goofy. People treat me nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
20.
Yeah. Oh, you get it in the selfie too.
Yes, sir. Let me flip the camera around. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much.
You bet. Thank you. Take care.
You're amazing, dude.
Call my ex-wives, okay?
I saw one of your specials online. It was really cool.
Thank you.
So I didn't look on yet. That's cool, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you. See, I mean, I never thought things like that would happen to me, and that's when I start living from the inside. What's special about me? Well, what's special about me? I love dressing weird. No one allowed me to do that with normal jobs. That's why I felt terrible. And that's the best we have to offer to each other. I think what's strange about us is really your asset or your superpower. So that's why in Let's Go members, I have a report that says how to retire in 3 years. And it's really how to start your own business without any money. And I think it's so easy nowadays. Like I say, I do it all the time. My first 2 failed, then I had a success finally. And the same thing, without money, nothing. With just me, a phone, and a desk, right down the block here, about 3 blocks. I had a 1-bedroom apartment. And it grew from me, a phone, and a desk in that 1-bedroom apartment to about 30 people down on K Street. And Fortune 500 clients and all that kind of stuff. Something I never thought would happen. And then, I just didn't feel right with that. I didn't like the customers as much, and I'd rather help the average person. And it's taken me 10 years to figure this out, you know. So this is another. So maybe it's really 6 business, because then I was sort of like a professional author, and you could make money that way. And then when that sort of dried up as a reference book thing, then I had to think of another way to do it. And that's what, you know, using social media and stuff like that. All this costs absolutely zero money to start this, and now it's more and better than I ever thought it would be. And I'm very grateful. And like I say, this is what our society is. Sure, there's other ways to do it, and you need hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars for certain things. But if you're trying to make a living and contribute in the world, you don't need that. There's so many other ways now to do that. It's not easy, but even spending a lot of money is hard too. And getting a lot of money is even harder. So, and that's why, you know, I think it's important that people know the options. It's not the one way to do everything. It is a way, and you know, particularly if you don't have money or you know, lots of assets and stuff like that. Man, that's why I love traveling around the world in the last years or so, number of years. And when the developed countries, it was like, yeah, the immigrants here, they came, you know, at the turn of the century with 2 sticks together and rubbed them together and made a business, you know, at a push cart, you know, that turns into Sears and Robot. And he was selling suits out of a push cart. Yeah, and that's how things happen. So we have a new age now, and a new developing a different way. You want to do something old, then probably takes money, but there's other ways to do things. Can you give an update for the banks giving me free money for having an account with them? Thanks for a bank. Well, I mean, I guess the banks that give out free money, that's really government money they give to free people who are low income, and IDAs, individual development accounts. So if you save money in the bank, you know, you put in $1, they'll put an extra $5 or something like that. And so it's different all over the country. There's an association that deals with that. If you put IDA, individual development accounts, the other way to do it is maybe contact your local community action agency. They probably know if there's any in your area. The community action agency is in every county has them, and they're available, and they help people with lower income in the programs. And lower income now is, you know, $80,000 is low income, $100,000, $125,000. It's just getting so crazy out there, what people think is income. And that's why I just don't believe your mind if you have any preconceived notion about anything, because you just go out and research and get the facts, not what you think is right. And that's wrong. Or 9 out of 10 times you're going to be wrong. Sure, some will be right, sort of like a clock, you know, a broken clock is right twice a day or something, you know. So just go out, and it's getting information, doing the research, finding the answers. Can you tell me why is Blue Acorn so slow in funding? Don't know Blue Acorn. But what you do is start looking for other people. You don't rely on somebody. You know, if they're going to do it their way, you know, and what you have to do is start searching for other places. You know, otherwise you're going to bitch and moan, and maybe you never get the money. And then what do? You know, you just, you know, life is about options, and you got to keep creating options for yourself, not relying on one thing and that's it, and whatever. No. You know, okay, you apply here, you apply to a dozen places. And now I just saw an article today about not only apply, but you know, ask for a recount. when they say no, then you go back and appeal. So apply, appeal. Because, you know, it may only, you know, 10, 20, 30%, you know, get the appeal okay, but what the hell? Only 10% get the money originally, so that's maybe even better odds. So that's why it's all about energy and doing, and not being talked out of stuff. We talk ourselves out of stuff more than anything, and that's the devil that we got to fight with, our own head. The older I get, the more I see that the only thing stopping me from doing stuff is me. That I'll dream of some way, oh, this is wrong, you can't do that, or whatever. Man, I don't know, I'm guessing, man. Just go out and do it. That's why your heart, that's why I'm into hearts now. The hearts are more important, because you got to have heart to go through all the shit you got to go through to go do things that you want to do in life. Not answering the questions, having the heart, because the questions change, the answer's going to change, all this kind of stuff. So if your heart's not in it, it's sort of like a personal relationship. If your heart's not in it and you're just there for money or sex or whatever it is, I mean, that's going to fade, and it's not going to be a happy experience in the long run. So your hearts have to be in it, okay? And that's how to treat your, what are you going to do after COVID? Maybe I'll do another thing about options like that and what to do. You can apply, even if you got approved, but waiting for, yeah. As long as the other said you can't get money from something else, then fine. I mean, there may be some cases you can't, And so when you apply that next time, they'll say, well, did you get money for this? Then you can't apply here. Well, then you've got the real answer, not a makeup answer from me. I don't know. There's 20, 30, 40, 50 million websites with applications. So you don't know until you apply. So if you're waiting, if you've been accepted, is that what you mean? So look at that place you applied for, if you already accepted, and see if you could apply somewhere else. If you don't have the money, then I don't know if you're really accepted or not. But what you can do is apply. I mean, the worst case is you get 2 places for money and you have to give one back. To me, that sounds a nice problem, particularly if you have nothing now. So why worry about that problem? They're not real problems, right? Well, it is so wonderful weather out here, guys. I'm going to start moseying back. I got a lot of work to do, and it's not going to be as nice tomorrow. So it was nice to talk to you and show you Abe's big chair up there. Okay? Talk to you soon. Thank you.